Judges are also sometimes called the so-called judges.
Mr. Mnisi, just have a bit of respect.
Yes, it is the court, my lord.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I deserve to be respected.
Yes.
I'm 78 years old. I've been 50 years in the profession.
Yes, my lord.
I'm sure I deserve to be respected.
Yes, it is the court, my lord.
I understand, my lord. I've been practicing for 100 years. The state is dominant litigation.
Mshololo, I've been on the bench for 20 years. I've practiced as an attorney for 30 years. I've never ever been accused of being a crook or dishonest.
My lord, I'm on.
Yay, Tada, we are back with another video. Today, the case will resume and Advocate Baloyi will cross-examine General Shaban. And we're going to have a new interpreter. Remember that Jonas recused himself after there's some commotion in court. The accused were not happy with his interpretation or the way he handled himself. I think Jonas is a bit emotional in court. I think he's one of those men that when he grew up, for no reason. But I generally liked Jonas, but his behavior sometimes it's not becoming of the interpreter. So I think he made a good decision by just withdrawing from the case and then allow someone else to take over. But Ule Shabane is back on the hot seat and Ubaloyi continues cross-examination. Last week we learned that General Sibiya was indeed part of that interview where Uzungu was being interviewed by Ule Shabane and Sibiya. And Ule Shabane told us that Sibiya at the time when he interviewed Uzungu, he was no longer a policeman. He was working for the city of Joburg, in the police department, in the Metro Police Department. So it's clear that Sibiya should have made a statement just to account for what he did in this case, because there are some questions that are still in the air that need to be answered. And Ule Shabane emphasized that fact that he's surprised that General Sibiya was not called as a witness or did not make a statement. And we now know that Sibiya lied when he spoke to the parliamentary committee, because he said his involvement in the Moyo case ended in 2014, just after the Senzo Moyo case had started in terms of investigation. So Sibiya had to account for some reason. But if you've forgotten what Ule Shabane said, just listen to this audio and you'll talk about it later.
uMakhubo washo ukuthi ke uyangabazi noma unongabaza ke mayelana nokubandakanyeka kukaNkani, nanjengoba washo ukuthi ke kwakuyena owambopha embophela ke icala elahlukile eKZN. uGeneral Sibiya wakholwa ke lokho esithi ke kuyazwakala, nami futhi ke ngakholwa.
General, were you present when this meeting took place?
My lord, I was the one who initiated the meeting.
Wawukhona yini general ke kuona lo mhlangano yimina ke owenza ukuthi umhlangano lona ube khona?
Because I suspected that maybe somebody who sent Zungu to me is playing the game.
Ngoba ke nganginokusola ukuthi ke mhlasimpe umuntu akuyena owathumela uZungu kumina ke umuntu nje cha odlalayo nje onomdlalo thizeni awudlalayo.
I found out the case was with Warrant Makhubu from the police side.
Ngaye ngathola ke ukuthi ke kuhlangothi lamaphoyisa ukuthi icala leli ke lali naye noma lali kuMakhubo.
I did not want to rely on Makhubu only. I said from my side, now I was doubting something. I must get somebody who is neutral, who is not a policeman, though he was an ex-police general. By that time, General Sibiya was working at Metro Johannesburg. He was no longer in the police service.
Ngangafuni ke ukuthi ke manje ke ngincike kuMakhubo kuphela ke, ngangifuna ke umuntu ke manje ongasiyona ke iphoyisa, umuntu nje oyimele ke, ingakho ke ngakolwami uhlangothi, ingakho ke ngathi ngasondeza noma ngabiza ke uGeneral Sibiya owayeyiphoyisa ngaphambilini, kodwa ke manje wayesebenzela ke iJohannesburg Metro Service.
Yeah, at the Metro Department.
Metro Department.
Yeah. My lord, indeed they came and I was with Zungu.
Ngempela beza Nkosi enkantolo futhi ke ngangindawonye noZungu.
I explained to Zungu that the people who are coming, one is the investigator, Makhubu, The other one is an ex-police officer. But I want them to hear your story.
Ngase ngimtshela ke uZungu ukuthi ke labantu ababili abezayo omunye wabo yiphoyisa uwumseshi ke noma ke umphenyi walo icala leli omunye kwakuyiphoyisa ngifisa noma ngifuna ukuthi ke bezwe okushoyo.
And then when we were there, it is not a hearsay. I was there in church.
Manje ke ngaleso sikhathi leso ke babe lapho akusiyona inzwabethi yimina ke ngangikhona kwakuyimina owayehola.
And I was surprised that the police never took a statement from Makubu as well as General Sibiya.
Kuya mangaza ke ukuthi ke amaphoyisa awakaze athathe istatement kuyena uMakhubo kanye naye uSibiya.
So that the court can get a proper information.
Ukuze ke inkantolo ithole ekuyikona.
And when we were there, my lord,
Ngesikhathi esasilapho
I said, Sibiya and Makubu, I don't want to say anything. I want this good constable to relate you the story and keep quiet.
ngathi ke Makhubo kanye nawe Sibiya akukho mina ke engifuna noma engifisa ukuthi ngikusho ngifuna ke uconstable lona kube uyena ke oyikhulumelayo.
He told them exactly what he told me, that we get it from Guavini. But again, he said that the other one is in Nkani.
Wabatshela kanye lokho ke wathi ke wakuthola kuGwabeni lokho ayekusho kodwa ke waphinde washo wathi omunye kwakuwunkani
Who was part of those people.
owayeyingxenye yalabo bantu labo.
And he said he didn't lie.
Washo wathi wayengaqamba imanga.
And then Makubu then took a docket of Senzo Mayiwa,
Wase uMakhubo ethatha ke idokodo lika Senzo Meyiwa
not a duplicate.
engasilona ke icopy noma ke iduplicate.
He showed him the face of Mukani
Wamkhombisa ke ubuso bakhe unkani
to prove that he knows him and he was in prison by that time. And then he said, this man cannot be the one because he was in prison.
ukuthi ke uyabazi ke noma ke uyamazi ke lo muntu nokuthi ke le ndoda lena ke akwazi ke ukuthi ke ngaba yiyona ngoba le ndoda lena ke yayisejele.
That frustrated Constable Zungu.
Lokho ke akuzange ke kumhlalise noma ke kumphathe kahle ke uConstable Zungu.
Yep. It's clear that Warrant Officer Makubu wanted to solve this case at all cost. He invited General Sibiya yena ukuthi azo observer as someone that was not part of the investigation. But I still believe Sibiya should account for his involvement in the case and tell us what he knows, what did he do in this case, because there's some allegations that were leveled by Advocate Tefo and so on. Uguti Sibiya is the one that instructed the people in the house to hide the gun and not to give it to the police. That allegation needs to be cleared up. But in terms of Makubo's investigation, it's clear from this order that Makubo did not believe in docket 636 because he did not think there were intruders in that house. He believed that the shooter was within, someone from the house. So Ulo Uzungu, when he was interviewed by Ule Shabani, he was not convincing at all because he was holding back certain information. I therefore suspect that Warrant Officer Makubo will be the next witness after Ule Shabani, just to come and corroborate the information that was told by Ule Shabani in court. And then I think that this case would be solid. Would be solid in terms of the police contradiction, because it is very important Uti, the court knows Uti, the police were not in sync. We did not agree in terms of these two dockets. Some believe that docket 2005, it is the docket that needs to be investigated, while the corrupt policemen wanted to prosecute docket 636 because they wanted to protect certain individuals. So Makubo must come to court and then tell the court about all the things that were done by Brigadier Genin. They will remember that Makubo opened a case for defeating the ends of justice against Brigadier Genin because he thought he stole that statement that was deposed by Mungsi Hlope. The statement where Hlope says Dumela Madlala phoned him after Senzo was shot, and he told him that Longo Twala is the one that allegedly shot Senzo Ngephutha. So Makubo would need to come and explain why did he open the case against Genin, and also explain his interaction with Advocate Baloyi, because we know that Makubo came to Baloyi's office and brought docket 375 to him to prosecute, but Baloyi refused. So then Makhubo need to tell us if Baloyi did try to make him to change some statement or not, because we now know that Ubaloyi and Gininda tried to force Leshabane to change his statement. Leshabane said that meeting was initiated by Uprekatia Gininda, where Gininda wanted him to change his statement so that he could suit the certain narrative, the narrative Yoguti. They were intruders in the house, but Leshabane refused to change the statement. So Makhubo was also come and give his own version, what happened when he was at Advocate Baloyi's office, because it is of the most importance. So Makhubo, I suspect that he will come once the Shabane is done. And I was hoping that Ntazi will bring someone that will confirm his alibi, where he was on the day when Senzo was shot. It's not important, but I think it would have helped his case because it would have cleared any doubt. But the state still has a burden to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. So the state is the one that needs to prove that Ntanzi was at the crime scene. At the stage, the police failed to prove Ntanzi was there because the DNA cleared Ntanzi. The witnesses that were in the house, Sholaba, Kelly Kumar, Nozand, and so on, they could not identify Ntanzi in 2014, 2015. They only identified Ntanzi when he appeared in court because they had seen him on TV already. So Baloyi has failed to put Ntanzi at the crime scene. So he has not proven the fact that Ntanzi was there. So that's important to note. But I think Ntanzi, he would have improved his case drastically if you just bring someone that will confirm his alibi from his hometown or his family and so on. But once the Shabane is done, I suspect that Makhubo will be the next one. But Ule Shabane told us important things that we needed to know about this case. And Urata, I think if he was a fair judge, then you will see that in this case there's clear reasonable doubt. There was clear cooking. Remember that the state has the burden to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. If there's doubt, the court must acquit. And now it's clear that there's doubt in this case because Ule Shabane says Gininda tried to force him to change his statement. That is a clear case of cooking. And if you cook, you're fabricating, and fabricating statement is a criminal offense. The only reason Gininda would have wanted to change the statement is because he wanted to incriminate certain individuals, and we know who are those. Those are the accused that are before court. So Ule Shabane, I think he held a defense case to create reasonable doubt, because that's all you need as the accused. You need not to prove that you are innocent, but to create that doubt. The story that you are telling is possibly true. So Ntanzi, I think his case improved drastically because of Ule Shabane. Once Makhubo comes, I think it's going to be even better because we know now if Gininda wanted the statement to be changed, I suspect that the statement or Mukhane or Jonathan and so on, all those that were involved in the torture, suspect that their statements were cooked. And the judge should also make that a consideration with Gininda. He may have cooked some statements just to implicate Ntanzi. I suspect that about Jonathan, those that were transporting him to Magistrate Cronje and wherever, they know that Ntanzi was tortured. They know for a fact, but they are afraid of Brigadier Gininda, which is why they came to court and lied. So if we've got such people in this case, it's clear that there's too much cooking. The court has to acquit. But we'll hear go to Uzotin Ule Shabane today because Baloyi is going to try and poke holes to Ule Shabane's story. But what he cannot change is that he came to his office and Baloyi asked him the same question 5 times, which was, are you sure about the statement? Are you sure about the statement? That clearly indicated that Baloyi was not happy with the statement. He wanted Ule Shabane to change his statement to suit a certain narrative. So Baloyi, I am disappointed with his conduct. It's not becoming of an advocate of the High Court. So Baloyi suspect that someone is going to lay a case against him with the LPC so that the Legal Practices Council take actions because his behavior as a prosecutor has a lot to be desired. And then the case will resume today. Thank you.